Another day, another reason to be pissed off at Google, I suppose. As if we don't have enough problems already with the same people who want to make AI also using it as a means to control people. I'll leave a link to Clownfist TV's video in the description below for anyone who's interested. Although it does need to be said, along with everything associated with people who are probably part of the terrorist organization known as the World Economic Forum. Yes, I am gonna call them a terrorist organization, and no, I do not give a shit about any of them. If they want to cannibalize each other, go ahead. The rest of us want proper food. I don't know, owning our property. Our basic human rights. But I digress. GB Reviews just uploaded this recently on the situation. Immediately he starts with, "We are so fucked." I don't know what else to say to that, but he's got a point. It's so blackpilling seeing this shit unfolding. This is starting as developer ID verification to test waters. Mark my words. This will systematically trickle down throughout everything, eventually to basic users. Every single app and phone service is doing this now globally. You can't escape it now. Discord, Apple, Android, and other massive platforms. I tried to speak up about this shit, but was mocked and called a doom poster for it. To foes on the left and foes that would rather slander me than fight with me on this, I hope you enjoy the boot on your throat. You rather play your cultural topic games instead of sign together. These politicians on both sides wanted us to fight to distract us from stopping this. Instead, you rather focus time on either distorting the message, saying it's not that bad, or regurgitating, think of the children, instead of seeing the danger to your rights. Digital ID is here. That means you harassers or slandering folks will no longer be anonymous, so you dug your own hole. And this is to quote a post from Pirate Nation. Starting September 26, assignment update post by Google will block every Android app whose developer hasn't registered with Google, signed their contract, paid up, and handed over government ID. Google calls the new rule Android developer verification. This starts with Brazil, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand, expanding worldwide in 2027. Every app on certified Android phones must come from a developer who has registered their real identity with Google. This covers apps from the Play Store, third-party stores, and side-loaded APKs. Here's what developers have to do. They sign up in Google's new verification system, share their legal name, address, phone number, and ID, and pay a one-time $25 fee. Apps from unverified developers will be blocked or come with big warnings and extra steps. Google is doing this to fight malware. Bullshit. The company says sideloaded apps are about 50 times more likely to contain bad software than Play Store apps. Android is becoming a little more controlled with its changes. And sadly, yes, this is true. I went with Android because I hated Apple's restrictive bullshit. And now they are just becoming the same bullshit. Fuck Google trying to Big Brother us. If I want to run the risk of downloading malware, that's my right. I don't need these fucking companies telling me what I can or can't download. I paid for my phone. It's my device. This is unbelievable. One of my favorite apps was delisted years ago, and I have to sideload it on new devices. Why would a timer that gives me the minutes, hours, and days until a certain date gets blocked for no reason? The whole point of Android is to get more control than iOS. It's the Google version of what Apple has always done. In the same way corporate is locking down Linux via systemd, Wayland, and rewrites in Rust, while government is pushing censorship and digital ID. It's all the same thing and absolutely coordinated. I have confidence the community will find solutions. They like a challenge. Well, people start by using that Second Amendment before we lose all rights. We need another hero. These people need to realize they work for us, not the other way around. Okay, first of all, there's a bit of nuance in Galason's obvious reply here. That doesn't mean gun violence, and it shouldn't mean listening to stupidity either, but yeah. So Android is basically becoming an iPhone. Android just quietly moved from open by default to open by permission. That's the actual change. The verification form is just the paperwork. I hope more manufacturers like Red Magic Gaming and other gaming-focused phones are open to making Graphene OS or Linux versions of their phones. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of trouble for emulators on mobile. Here we have a video.
Out, yes, time is running out. Time is running out, yes, time is running out. If you want to keep free, then have a sense of urgency. Resist digital ID and programmable currency. It's not for your protection, it's for your correction. You may think it's convenient, but it's to make you obedient. We're the ones they want to spy, and it's the hill on which to dial. There's no time to waste, we must act with haste. Yes, get your skates on, we must right this wrong. So get up on your feet and take to the streets. The battle has now commenced, and in numbers we'll have strength. So do not stand idly by, resist, defy, do not comply. Don't let it be too late.
He's got a point there. You won't have anything and you'll be happy. Soon there will be cloud-based terminals with subscriptions and alternatives. The era of the free internet is ending, sadly. Another reason some people look towards decentralized distribution plus storage, where publishing apps doesn't depend on a single gatekeeper. Google requiring government ID from devs is wild. This is basically killing indie developers and open source contributors. I don't think this ends well for the Android ecosystem. This has nothing to do with fighting malware and everything to do with tightening control while shifting from an ownership-based model to a lease-based one. You will own nothing. Somebody tell me this. Apps are handy, but they're basically glorified bookmarks. Use a browser and it's free. Use an app, and Apple or Google collects 3%. The malware justification is real, but the policy solves a problem Google created by keeping side loading open for 15 years, and then addresses it by requiring government ID from every developer on Earth. The 50 times malware stack for siloed apps exists because Google never built a verification layer for non-Play Store distribution. Now the fix is send us your passport. The part nobody is asking, who decides what counts as verified in countries where the government uses developer identity databases to target dissidents? A journalist in Thailand building a protest coordination app has to register their legal name and address with Google, which stores it on servers accessible by legal request. The malware problem is real. The solution architecture has a political attack service nobody at Google will talk about on stage. Android will never win a battle against Apple. It's not polished enough for that. Their only hidden card was third-party apps. If it's gone, they'll be gone too. We need a new phone OS fast. The reason we stuck with Android was because it gave us freedom and options unlike the competition. But lately, it's been getting worse and worse. Even sideloading apps is becoming a pain because they don't want you to pirate apps. They don't care about your security. They only care about your money. Right now is the perfect time for a phone OS revolution. And it's entirely possible. Remember when Symbian and BlackBerry ruled the smartphone market? Well, they're completely dead and irrelevant now. The same needs to happen to Android and iOS. Someone new needs to get into the smartphone OS scene and offer what customers actually want, and then to completely replace them. Honestly, the only thing I can say is people need to stop being so complacent and just say, well, it's fine, we can sort it out, or getting Graphene OS or something that has it on it pre-installed, it's too difficult, or do we really need paper money? And I'm just there like, at this point, just, what's the point of even listening to people like you if you've already given up? I mean, there was already a solution to solve all these problems, and that is to help with a actual responsible government. And the only person who's willing to do that is, of course, Rupert Lowe here in the UK. However, I don't think there's anyone in politics anywhere else that's like going to say, no, shit, Sherlock, you would want that. Sod off. We don't want you to scan our irises for some AI dickwad who created a stupid company. The World Economic Forum should be considered a terrorist organization. And pretty much all that jazz. You've been playing is fine and all, but you can't just force someone to think the same way as you do. Different views. And honestly, it's not really surprising that I would vote for Restore Britain or tell people to go and vote for Restore Britain. Because I believe that Restore Britain is the only political party that cares about diversity and inclusion. And we're allowing deranged lunatics from third world countries to ruin Britain because I guess the king says so. Honestly, at this point, the monarchy died alongside Queen Elizabeth II, so I don't really fucking care. But yeah, Rupert Lowe is the only one that I know of who's actually taking accountability and actually sorting out this situation. Look, what I'm trying to say here is, at the end of the day, I'm tired of all this bull crap and malarkey from other companies doing heinous shit. So, you know what? I think, for the record, if this continues, I might just change the OS system on my phone and switch to Graphene OS, if I'm able to. That, or I'll just get a phone that has it pre-installed, like a Red Magic phone. As Graphene OS is pretty much an OS for gamers and people who actually want to take charge over their own life and not let some dipshit government Big Brother people into not having their things. I mean, have we not learned anything from what happened with Doki Doki Literature Club? It sucks to see a well-loved game like that just to get taken off of any Play Store or any console just because, I guess, Google Angie. I guess there's something good about having a Switch though if you're buying physical. But other than that, I just don't see the point of having a Google account or anything like that. If Graphene OS is the only way to go, then so fucking be it. I'm done with Google's selfishness to other people. And don't worry, I've got the other video to sort out. So I'm gonna get around to sorting that after this one. Anyways, peace.